Okay, head gasket time. The other way. Goes the other way, Daisy girl. Those holes don't line up the other way. Okay, we can put the cylinder head on. Let me go get my head bolts. I should be able to put this on there and get the pop on the valves, then we get the head bolts. Everything's looking pretty good there. It is. Okay, head bolts. Head bolts. This is a 6 liter. You gotta put the rocker box on because the head bolt goes through the rocker boxes. I forgot all about that. And on these rocker boxes, I put a new seal and a screw in here. Right in here. But I always put some silicone on there too. I hate using silicone on anything, but I've had 2 of these leak on me and had to tear it all back apart. And ever since I've done this, I've put some silicone just on it, and I've been fine. And that's brand new seals, had them leak on me. That just really irritates the shit out of you. Okay, are there dowels in this? Because I don't remember. Yeah, there's small dowel holes in this, I think. One there. Glow plugs were holding me off. Okay, I got one lubed up. Let's get in there. I gotta get my rockers over here and get them ready. Once I get the head torqued down and basically all that stuff, injectors in it and all that stuff, I can move right along. Once the cylinder head, well, basically once the valve cover's on, you're kind of on the home stretch. You can move right along. I don't know, I'm sure everybody's going to say ARP head studs, but I've had, I think the head gasket, or the head stud thing is good, but I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've done head studs on quite a few of them, but I've owned 2 of them right now, well 3 of them counting this one, it ain't sold yet, but I've had an 03, I had what was the other one I had? I had another one that worked for the last one. But anyway, I never had a head gasket blow. Never. And all the ones that I saw head gasket problems with were the kids that like to put the power programmers in them and turn the fuel up and run them until the some bitch is, you know, I mean, yeah, it's going to have problems if you do things like that. I'm okay. Thought I was doing something wrong. Let me get my rockers. Okay guys, so we're gonna start out 65 foot-pounds in sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so basically this would be number 1. Number 2. Number 3. 4. 5, 6. Okay. Then we go to 85 foot-pounds in the same sequence. Like I say, I've been in them service trucks and I work the hell out of those service trucks and I've never had a head gasket problem. My shop foreman, he had an 06 that his cracked the head. That's what Ford said. They said the head was cracked, and I was a little skeptical about that. I thought maybe it probably had an injector cut crack. Maybe cracked the head, could have, I guess. But never seen one do that before either. Okay. So tighten bolts in sequence 1 through 10 clockwise, 90 degrees now. It's crazy. Breaker bar out here, and then we'll go 90 degrees. 10. Oh. That's the third step. Well, then we go do that 2 more times, really. Tighten bolts in sequence 1 through 10, 90 degrees. Tighten bolts in sequence number 4, 1 through 10, 90 degrees. They want you to do that. Holy shit. I don't remember doing that. Man, is that right? I don't ever remember going that tight. Okay. Boy, that stretches that bolt, doesn't it? Wow, I can't believe that shit. Yeah, we're doing them 3 fucking times. 90 degrees 3 times. Son of a bitch. That is tighter than shit, you know? I'm gonna let them stretch a little bit and I'm gonna take a breather. Okay. 24 foot-pounds on these. Oh. This guy, man, this thing's got all new injectors, it's got new oil cooler, it's got, he did all these parts in it, and then they did that to him, you know. I really do feel for the guy, I really do. There's a lot of people that are scared of these 6.0s, but there's a whole lot of people actually starting to come around on them, going that these are actually pretty good engines. This one just didn't, I guess it got in right. I didn't feel like it was right. Oh, they're T40s. I thought they were T45. I'm going to put the feed tube in it, and then the high pressure oil rail, and then the valve cover. Self-awareness about getting in front of the camera there. The cameraman. Somebody sit there and hold the camera. $24 foot-pounds. Now if you go to 25, it probably ain't gonna hurt it. We'll go to 24. Make sure the copper's on the end of your injector too. That'll cause you a lot of grief. My buddy Pete, he was working on an 8330 here not very long ago. Actually last week. He got in a hurry, and Pete's a damn good mechanic. He called me. He was getting pressure back in the fuel tank. It was just pressure in the fuel tank. I said, well, it's got to be something in the head. He just had the head gone through. And I guess apparently the head was cracked. And let's put it this way, the machine shop that did it, I won't go in there anymore. The guy don't stand behind his work any, and it's always somebody else's fault when he screws up. And he was one of them kind of guys. And I thought, well, maybe the guy screwed the head up. Well, he called me the next day and goes, I found out what it was. He goes, I did a dumb shit deal. And I said, what's that? He goes, somehow, you know, I greased them coppers and stick them on the injector, somehow it come off and it got smashed sideways in there. So all that compression gas was going up through there and going back into the fuel system. I said, well, at least you found it and it wasn't a head. You didn't have to pull the head back off. Got kind of a funny story for you guys. Yesterday I was heading south, and there's a pretty steep little grade called Doris Hill on Highway 97. I don't know, it's probably 6-7%, I think, grade. And this kid was in one of them little Japanese cars, and he didn't have no hood on it. Had the great big exhaust pipe, and it was noisy, and he was dicking along there going up the hill, and I went around him in the service truck, and I seen him stomp on it and try to come back around me. So I stomped on it, and I passed him again, and he couldn't get around me. Boy, he was pissed, beating on. He didn't have no hood on the car, and there was chrome pipes and all this shit. He was trying to make it look like some kind of racing car, and I just thought, well, yeah, he had a buddy that was riding with him, I could see, and his buddy was laughing, probably sitting there telling him a service truck just outran you up the hill. Ah, shit. And I don't even have a power programmer in that. That's probably been one of the best 6 liters I've ever drove. That sucker runs good. It really does. Not just saying because it's mine. That sumbitch runs good there. That's a keeper. Okay. Feed tube. And this kit came with brand new feed tube. That up. I'm trying to see here. The book says something about warning about some tube. I've got a feeling that tube right there is plenty, huh? Check that the crank case is head tube. Assembly is bottom out and the branch tube assembly. No, not sure. Okay, let's see here. Move our O-rings up. Okay, this tube here. This is our feed tube. That's right. What am I thinking? I can stick that all in there after I get my rail bolted down. Okay. Must be an updated tube or what's the deal there? I guess you just put the whole thing here as assembly, apparently. Okay. And now this feed tube, so we're down in here. I think these high pressure wheel rail bolts get torqued to 10 foot-pounds, and then the feed tube is feed tube 60 foot-pounds. Oh motherfucker! I just dropped that son of a bitch down in there. that disease, the head up the ass syndrome. Contagious. Get these cinched down. And this is the one that was missing a bolt. So I gotta go find a bolt I can stick in this. But anyway, so you're gonna torque these down, and let's see here, what's the sequence on these? I don't ever really, I just start in the middle and work my way out. I go here, 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 you get it. But torque that one, then torque your feed tube down to 60 foot-pounds. I think it's 8mm Allen, might be 10mm, but. And then we're ready for the valve cover. I'm gonna take a bar on the crankshaft and make sure this thing turns over before I do that. Alright guys, we got our valve cover back on here. We are going to put our new pipe in. Tight. Well guys, we are on with the reassembly of this 6-liter. Just kind of tell you where we're at. Intakes on, turbo pedestal, injector wiring harness. Got everything on the cylinder head put together. I noticed that something I didn't get in there when I was putting that together was the only thing I missed was valve bridges and push rods. I had a guy show up here, started talking to me, and I didn't get that recorded. So you would think that on a Sunday they would not come in and want to bullshit, but I got caught on a Sunday as well. So anyway, now I am going to slip the turbo on it, and then the fickum, and then she's pretty well ready to roll underneath the cab and set the cab back down on her. We're gonna get this sucker running here pretty soon. So I'm gonna go get the turbo over here and make sure that that's the problem. I'm trying to get this on this tripod set up here, but it's about as close as I can get to where the action is without, and then my back's covering everything up when I get in there to work. That. So I'm going to put the down pipe on as well. I wonder if I should put that on first, or am I going to have trouble? I might put that on first. I think I will. I think that'd be a wise thing. Knowing my luck, I'll get the turbo on, then I won't be able to get the down pipe squeezed in there. That's the way things usually go. Then you gotta backtrack, and I hate backtracking. Of course I do it all the time. Should be used to it. Okay. The old down pipe back on there. I was over at a feedlot the other day, and I don't know if you guys saw that one video, that disassembly on that International 4300 truck that I did the front cover on. Never did do a reassembly on it. I got busier in Hill. That's when I had all those engine rebuilds going on, and I just couldn't get everything squeezed in. But anyway, I went out and looked at it the other day. It's got an EGR cooler leaking on it, back into the cyclone it back into the intake, and I got to change that this week. Okay, so now we've got the down pipe on. I probably could have put that turbo and then put that down pipe on. Oh well. There's the clamp, or part of the clamp anyway. Not abnormal around here to hear somebody shooting a gun. I heard a bang and it was a gun. Somebody shooting somewhere. Around here, people will shoot guns and they don't go out and shoot. They don't shoot people. Pipe has kind of got things held off a little bit, huh? The new pipe was put in there. That's not really too good. We might have to adjust. We're going to have to do some adjusting, I think, here. On our, let's see. There it goes. It kind of fell in place there. Alright, get that on. Turbo bolts, see if we can get them started. This was an early 03, you'd have one back, instead of it being down here on the bottom like this. Well, on an early 03, there's a cross, the intake's got a piece that's kind of a cross member on the back. It goes right over the top of the high pressure oil pump cover. And then the turbo mounting bolt goes horizontal instead of vertical. This is way better. The other ones I've had I've had those where I couldn't get them off, and I had to grind them out to get them off. The early 03s are the ones you want to stay the hell away from. And I've taken an early 03 and taken an 04 intake manifold and put on it. That way you can get the pump cover off without pulling the intake off. But if you still got your EGR cooler, you'll have to pull with your intake anyway, because it won't come past the EGR cooler. So, but if you get rid of the EGR on it, you can pull it right on off of there. It is nice working on these things with the cabs off, though, I'll tell you that. What the hell's going on here? My line got bent a little bit here on me. My oil feed line in my turbo got bent. Okay, I got some wrenches now. I like putting my clamp. When you put these clamps on, just think about, you need to think about things. You need to think about, what do I got, if I can take this shit off with the cab on, what is going to be the best place for that clamp on that exhaust, both of these? What's the best place for that nut to be in? And the best place for that nut to be in is right here. Right over the top of the, where the little spool is that runs the VGT. That way you can get an extension and a socket right on it. I see guys that just don't think about that, and they put them in here upside down or something, where it's easy to get to with the cab off. Well, that doesn't make any sense, because you're not going to do everything with the cab, you know, with the cab off. Another pair of coveralls, and got a massive hole in the pocket. Good buddy. Yeah, my coveralls outfit. They make you sign a contract with them. And the first contract is 3 years. The second contract, they wanted another 3-year contract, and I said, I'm not doing a 3-year contract. They said, well, you do a 2-year, and I did a 2-year contract with them. Well, it's almost up, and I'm going to go with somebody else. I've had enough of them. They don't ever fix any of the holes in the pockets. They don't fix anything. They make you sign that contract for that very reason, so they can give you piss poor service and you're obligated to keep using it. downpipe. I don't really like the way that came together there. Might have to loosen everything back up. Let's just take a closer look at it, make sure we got it cinched up. I hate it when you back ones leak. I hate that shit. And you gotta wrestle around there. I mean, it looks, I guess it's alright. So we'll leave on this clamp here. Oh yeah, see, when I had popped it, something happened because I had a gap like that and that clamp. Now I've got a gap like this, so something wasn't right. It's a good thing I went back and redid it, because I would have been doing it with it on the pickup, which is way worse. Okay, find the clamp, get the thickum. Okay, found this clamp. Haven't even lost any parts yet. I got a parts room back there in the back. I got a lot of 6-liter parts over the years. I can almost build a whole damn engine. I like them. I like these motors, I really do. Just more, I'm just used to them. Don't get me wrong. Hard to beat a Cummins too. I like the Cummins. I really love the 24 valves. Only thing I didn't like the Bosch VP44. I really liked those 3 when they went to the common rail. Good motors. And I like the ones before that that had the 12 valves. The ones before the VP44. I really like 12 valves with either rotary pumps or inline Bosch pumps on. What I don't like about has nothing to do with Cummins. I hate Dodge. I absolutely detest anything that says Chrysler on it. Sorry. When I was a young man, my dad worked in the oil fields in Texas, and let's see, he worked for an outfit called Expert Drilling. He worked for another outfit called Lynx Drilling. I was just a little kid, but one of those outfits, I remember, they had bought a whole fleet, I don't know, 20, 30 brand new Dodge pickups for this oil field drilling company. And every well site, my dad was a welder, and we would get in his welding truck and we'd go to these well sites to do whatever they wanted him to do. And you'd be going down one of the roads to the wellhead, to where the derrick was and the rig was and everything, and you'd see a fender laying over here, or a grill laying over here, or bumper laying over here. I mean, they were just a piece of shit, and they haven't changed any, really. That's just my opinion anyway. And then I think they got pissed off, and they traded them all off for, that was in the early 80s. And they traded them all off for Fords with 6.9 diesels. And those were fine until it got cold in the winter and none of them would start. Okay, I've got a little bit of work to do. I've got to put an eye on the end of this wire right here. This wire, let me get my camera here. here is notorious for this little eye on the injector harness. It's notorious. It goes on that stud right there, and there's a nut that goes on it, but I had to cut it off because the whole thing was turning and I couldn't hold the the stud. So I've done that a million times. Cut that end off, put an eye on it, and then we'll basically bolt our ficum on and alternator. Put the alternator on. She's ready to go. Ready to roll her back underneath the cab. Okay. Please go straight. Please go straight. Back where you were. Park. Park. You don't roll for shit in park. Boy, she's got flat spots on the car. It's been sitting here so damn long. It must be uphill. It's not the floor, it's not level. Okay. Hopefully it went back somewhat square to where I won't have to jockey the cab around a bunch to get things lined up right again. Okay. Dookie boy, what are you doing, bud? Whatever in the hell I want. The hell's it look like? Dummy. There. Okay. Well, I guess quit hemming and hawing and get something going on here. Let's make her happen. Before I do that, I'm gonna go get online on my phone outside. I seen a comment last night from a guy, it might have been this morning, and he said there was a place you could go online to find out the wiring diagram for that the free. So I'm gonna go try that, and maybe I'll wire that transmission turbine shaft speed sensor before I put the cab back down. It'll be a lot easier with it up.